High blood sugar can sneak up on you. One minute you feel fine. Next, you're dealing with fatigue, brain fog, constant thirst, and that frustrating feeling of low energy even after eating. For many people, especially those living with diabetes or prediabetes, these spikes can happen more often than they realize. And when blood sugar stays high for too long, the consequences go far beyond feeling tired. Over time, elevated glucose can damage blood vessels, nerves, kidneys, eyes, and the heart. That's why managing blood sugar isn't just about comfort, it's about protecting your long-term health. The good news is that there are several natural ways to lower blood sugar relatively quickly. Some methods work by helping your muscles absorb glucose faster. Others improve insulin sensitivity or help prevent large spikes after meals. But here's something many people don't realize. The fastest solutions are often simple habits, not complicated treatments. In this video, we're going to explore several strategies that can help bring blood sugar levels down quickly, including one powerful method that works within minutes and another that may help support long-term glucose control. You'll learn about exercise techniques, simple foods and drinks, key nutrients, and daily habits that influence how your body handles sugar. And near the end, we'll discuss what many health experts believe is the most effective long-term approach to reversing chronically high blood sugar. Let's start with one of the fastest and most powerful ways to reduce blood sugar levels naturally: high-intensity interval training. High-intensity interval training, HIIT. If you need to bring blood sugar down quickly, one of the fastest tools available isn't a supplement or a drink. It's a movement. More specifically, high-intensity interval training, often called HIIT. This type of exercise can start lowering blood sugar within minutes. When blood sugar rises, glucose is circulating in your bloodstream. Your body needs a way to move that glucose out of the blood and into cells where it can be used for energy. Muscles are one of the largest glucose storage systems in the body. And when muscles start working intensely, they begin pulling glucose directly from the bloodstream, even without large amounts of insulin. That's why exercise is one of the most powerful tools for lowering blood sugar quickly. What happens in the body? During high-intensity exercise, your muscles suddenly demand a lot of energy. To meet that demand, the body quickly starts using glucose stored in the muscles and glucose circulating in the blood. This process activates special glucose transporters in muscle cells called GLUT4. These transporters act like tiny doors that allow glucose to move from the bloodstream into the muscle cells. The result? Blood sugar levels begin to drop as your muscles absorb that extra glucose. Even better, exercise improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your body becomes better at using insulin to manage blood sugar after the workout. What HIIT actually looks like? High-intensity interval training simply means alternating between short bursts of intense activity and brief recovery periods. For example, 30 seconds of fast walking or jogging, 30 seconds of slow walking. Repeat for 10 to 15 minutes. Other examples include cycling intervals, stair climbing, jumping jacks, bodyweight squats. The goal is to raise your heart rate during the intense intervals, then allow brief recovery. You don't need long workouts. Even 10 to 15 minutes can make a difference. Who should be careful? While HIIT can be very effective, it's not ideal for everyone. People with heart disease, advanced diabetes complications, joint problems, or very low fitness levels should start with gentler forms of activity like walking. Always consult a healthcare professional before starting intense exercise if you have a medical condition. High-intensity interval training is one of the fastest ways to lower blood sugar naturally. By activating your muscles and improving insulin sensitivity, HIIT helps pull glucose out of the bloodstream and into cells where it can be used for energy. Next, let's look at a simple drink that many people use to help control blood sugar naturally: apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar to control blood sugar naturally. What if a simple kitchen ingredient could help control blood sugar after meals? Apple cider vinegar has been used for centuries as a natural remedy, and modern research suggests it may play a role in supporting healthy blood sugar levels. One of the biggest challenges for people with insulin resistance or diabetes is post-meal blood sugar spikes. When you eat foods that contain carbohydrates such as bread, rice, or pasta, those carbs break down into glucose. That glucose quickly enters the bloodstream, causing blood sugar levels to rise. Apple cider vinegar appears to help by slowing the digestion of carbohydrates and improving insulin sensitivity. This means glucose enters the bloodstream more gradually, reducing sudden spikes. What happens in the body? The main active component in apple cider vinegar is acetic acid. Acetic acid appears to influence several metabolic processes, including slowing the emptying of food from the stomach, reducing the breakdown of starch into glucose, improving how the body responds to insulin. Together, these effects can help prevent large spikes in blood sugar after eating. Some studies have shown that people who consumed apple cider vinegar before a carbohydrate-heavy meal experienced lower post-meal glucose levels compared to those who didn't. How to use apple cider vinegar safely. The typical amount used in studies is 1 to 2 tablespoons. It should always be diluted in water because undiluted vinegar can irritate the throat and damage tooth enamel. A common method is 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar, 1 glass of water, optional squeeze of lemon. Many people drink this before meals, especially meals higher in carbohydrates. Who should be careful? Although apple cider vinegar is generally safe in small amounts, some people should be cautious. Those with stomach ulcers, acid reflux, kidney problems, or those taking certain medications should consult a healthcare professional before using it regularly. Apple cider vinegar may help reduce blood sugar spikes by slowing carbohydrate digestion and improving insulin sensitivity. While it's not a cure for diabetes, it can be a simple, natural tool to support better glucose control when used properly. Next, let's look at several natural supplements that may help support healthy blood sugar levels. Supplements for natural blood sugar support. Sometimes diet and exercise alone aren't enough to keep blood sugar stable. That's where certain natural supplements may provide additional support. While supplements are not a replacement for medical treatment, some have been studied for their potential to improve insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. Blood sugar control depends on how effectively the body uses insulin, the hormone that helps move glucose from the bloodstream into cells. When the body becomes insulin resistant, glucose remains in the blood longer, causing elevated blood sugar levels. Certain nutrients and plant compounds may help support the body's ability to process glucose more efficiently. Some of the most studied supplements. Several supplements have received attention from researchers for their potential effects on blood sugar. Berberine. Berberine is a natural compound found in several plants. Research suggests it may help activate an enzyme called AMPK, sometimes referred to as the body's metabolic master switch. This enzyme helps regulate how the body uses glucose and fat for energy. Some studies have shown that berberine may help improve insulin sensitivity and reduce fasting blood sugar levels. Cinnamon extract. Cinnamon has long been used in traditional medicine. Certain compounds in cinnamon may help increase insulin sensitivity and improve the body's ability to transport glucose into cells. While results vary between studies, some people find that cinnamon helps support more stable blood sugar levels. Alpha-Lipoic Acid. Alpha-Lipoic Acid is an antioxidant that may help reduce oxidative stress, which is often elevated in people with diabetes. It has also been studied for its potential to improve insulin sensitivity and support nerve health. Chromium. Chromium is a trace mineral that plays a role in carbohydrate and fat metabolism. It may help insulin work more effectively, although the benefits can vary depending on the individual. Important safety considerations. Supplements can interact with medications or medical conditions. For example, some supplements may lower blood sugar too much if combined with diabetes medications. That's why it's important to speak with a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement. Certain supplements, such as berberine, cinnamon extract, alpha-lipoic acid, and chromium, may help support healthy blood sugar levels. However, they work best when combined with proper diet, physical activity, and medical guidance. Next, we'll explore one of the simplest and most effective habits for lowering blood sugar after meals: a short walk. Post-meal walk to lower blood sugar. One of the simplest ways to lower blood sugar doesn't require a gym, equipment, or supplements. It's something almost anyone can do. A short walk after eating. This small habit can make a surprisingly big difference in how your body handles glucose. After you eat, your body begins breaking down carbohydrates into glucose. That glucose then enters your bloodstream, causing blood sugar levels to rise. Normally, insulin helps move that glucose into cells, but when insulin sensitivity is low, as it often is in people with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, glucose can remain in the bloodstream longer. This is what leads to post-meal blood sugar spikes. A short walk can help prevent those spikes. What happens in the body? When you start walking, your muscles immediately begin using energy. To fuel that movement, muscle cells pull glucose directly from the bloodstream. What's interesting is that this process can happen even without large amounts of insulin. Muscle contractions activate glucose transporters in the cells, allowing glucose to move inside and be used for energy. This means a simple walk can help clear excess sugar from the blood after a meal. what the research suggests. Several studies have shown that walking shortly after eating can significantly reduce blood sugar spikes. In some cases, 3 short walks of about 10 to 15 minutes after meals were found to be even more effective than one longer walk later in the day. The timing matters. Walking soon after eating helps your body deal with glucose while it's still entering the bloodstream. How to do it? The good news is that the walk doesn't need to be intense. A gentle to moderate pace is enough. You can try walking around your neighborhood, walking inside your home or hallway, walking around a park or garden, even light activity like household chores. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes after meals whenever possible. Even small amounts of movement can help. Who this is best for? A post-meal walk is especially helpful for people with prediabetes, people with type 2 diabetes, anyone who experiences energy crashes after meals. Because it's low impact, it's also a safe option for many older adults. A short walk after eating is one of the easiest and most effective habits for lowering blood sugar naturally. By activating your muscles, you help move glucose out of the bloodstream and into cells where it can be used for energy. Next, we'll look at 2 important minerals that many people overlook, but that play a key role in healthy blood sugar regulation: potassium and magnesium. Potassium and magnesium. When people think about controlling blood sugar, they usually focus on sugar, carbs, or insulin. But 2 important minerals are often overlooked: potassium and magnesium. These nutrients play a major role in how the body regulates glucose and uses insulin. Insulin is the hormone responsible for moving glucose from the bloodstream into cells. For insulin to work properly, your body needs a variety of nutrients that support metabolic functions. 2 of the most important are magnesium and potassium. Low levels of these minerals have been linked to insulin resistance, higher blood sugar levels, and metabolic imbalance. Magnesium and blood sugar control. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the body. Many of these reactions are directly related to energy production and glucose metabolism. Research has shown that people with low magnesium levels are more likely to develop type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. Magnesium helps the body improve insulin sensitivity, regulate glucose metabolism, reduce inflammation associated with metabolic disorders. Good food sources of magnesium include spinach and leafy greens, almonds and cashews, pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, whole grains and legumes. Potassium's role in metabolism. Potassium helps regulate fluid balance, nerve signals, and muscle contractions, but it also plays a role in carbohydrate metabolism and insulin function. Adequate potassium levels help maintain healthy metabolic activity and may support stable blood sugar levels. Foods rich in potassium include avocados, bananas, sweet potatoes, beans and lentils, leafy vegetables. Potassium and magnesium may not get as much attention as other nutrients, but they play an essential role in supporting insulin function and healthy blood sugar control. Ensuring your diet includes foods rich in these minerals can help support more stable glucose levels over time. Next, we'll look at a more controversial strategy some people use to influence metabolism: ketone supplements. Recently, ketone supplements have gained attention as a possible way to influence metabolism and energy levels. Some people also claim they can help lower blood sugar quickly. But how do they actually work? Normally, your body relies on glucose as its primary source of fuel. However, when carbohydrate intake is very low, or during fasting, the body begins producing ketones, molecules made from fat that can be used as an alternative energy source. Ketone supplements attempt to mimic this process by providing ketones directly to the body. What happens in the body? When ketones are available, the body may temporarily rely less on glucose for energy. This can sometimes lead to a short-term drop in blood sugar levels because the body shifts toward using fat-derived fuel instead of glucose. Some research suggests ketones may also influence insulin sensitivity and metabolic signaling, although studies are still ongoing. However, these effects are usually temporary and depend on many factors, including diet and activity level. Important considerations. Ketone supplements are not necessary for most people and should be approached with caution. They can sometimes cause side effects such as digestive discomfort, nausea, electrolyte imbalance. People with diabetes should be especially careful because high ketone levels can sometimes signal dangerous metabolic conditions if blood sugar is poorly controlled. Ketone supplements may temporarily influence blood sugar by providing the body with an alternative fuel source. However, they are not a primary strategy for managing blood sugar and should only be used with proper guidance. Next, we'll explore a surprising factor that can affect blood sugar balance: hydration and electrolytes, including salt water. Salt water and hydration. Here's something many people overlook when dealing with high blood sugar: hydration. When blood sugar levels rise, the body often becomes dehydrated, and that dehydration can actually make blood sugar harder to control. This is where water and sometimes electrolytes like sodium can play a role. Why hydration matters. When there is too much glucose in the bloodstream, the body tries to remove the excess through urine. This is why people with high blood sugar often experience frequent urination and intense thirst. As fluids leave the body, important electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, and magnesium can also be lost. If dehydration becomes significant, blood glucose can become more concentrated in the bloodstream, making levels appear even higher. How salt and electrolytes help. A small amount of sodium helps the body maintain proper fluid balance and nerve function. When combined with water, electrolytes help fluids move into cells more efficiently. For some people, drinking water with a small pinch of natural salt can help restore electrolyte balance and improve hydration. Better hydration can support circulation, kidney function, and the body's ability to flush excess glucose through urine. Important safety notes. However, salt water is not a treatment for high blood sugar. People with conditions such as high blood pressure, kidney disease, or heart problems should be cautious about increasing sodium intake. For most people, simply drinking plain water regularly throughout the day is enough to support hydration. Staying properly hydrated helps your body manage blood sugar more effectively. Water supports kidney function and helps remove excess glucose from the bloodstream. Final takeaway: high blood sugar doesn't have to control your life. By combining simple natural strategies, you can lower glucose quickly and safely while supporting long-term health. Key steps include high-intensity interval training to pull glucose into muscles, apple cider vinegar to reduce post-meal spikes, supplements like berberine or cinnamon for natural support, short post-meal walks to burn off extra glucose, ensuring adequate potassium, magnesium, and hydration. These habits work together to help your body use glucose efficiently, reduce inflammation, and protect metabolic health. Start today, pick just one or two strategies and make them a daily habit. If this guide helped, share it with friends or family who struggle with blood sugar. Small changes now can prevent complications later and give you more energy, focus, and confidence in your health. Thanks for watching. Here's to taking control of your blood sugar and feeling your best every day.